What is up, guys? My name is MipZ and welcome back for yet another League of Legends video. So today we are playing probably the cutest champion in all of League of Legends. At least in my opinion, you could say that it is kind of man's or human's best friend. It is, of course, KOG'MAW. This guy, come on, like, look at him. So cute. He's so freaking cute. Okay, anyway, this is gonna be pretty exciting. We're gonna be looking at how to play this champion today. He is a really fun one and something that I personally really enjoy to play. The thing with this champion is, of course, that he's a champ that you do pick for the mid to late slash very late game, because that's where he becomes an absolutely artillery tank killer. He can kill anything by, like, he's probably one of the highest, if not the highest DPSer from the ADC lane. But the downside of him being that he is kind of immobile and he really needs his support that can kind of help him out. Anyway, we'll be talking more about those things that we get into the game. But for those of you who are new in here, then this video will only be focusing on how to play the macro game of playing KOG'MAW, meaning the actual laning phase, how to play early, mid, and late game, the decision making. And I'm going to be using this game as kind of an example to let you guys in on my train of thought and kind of teach you guys everything I know about this. By the way, for those of you who are new in here, make sure to go down below, click that subscribe button, join in to our awesome community. And of course, if you do want to see me live, then go to twitch.tv/MipZ_live. I stream every single Friday. All right, with all of that aside, let's kind of get into this game. So we are playing with a Seraphine support, and this is actually a pretty good support for KOG'MAW. He really likes to play with Enchantress supports because they allow, or they can set up kills for him and also help peel off. And this is quite important for him, as KOG'MAW literally has no mobility. He has nothing to set up kills with. So all he can do is he can be a heavy DPSer. And that is literally what you want to do on this dude. And that's what we're going to try to do. So here in the laning phase, there's a couple of things that you, of course, can do. You can exploit the fact that he has pretty long range on his attacks whenever he pops his W. This can be used both for picking out a farm that is otherwise hard to get, or it can be used to poke your enemies if you can outrange them. So that's a very cool thing that you can do on him. But the thing is, you are not picking this champion for its early game. You're not picking it to go 10-0 in laning phase. You're picking him to just have a pretty decent transition into mid to late game, or at least into mid game, and then like kind of snowball from there. Because the thing is that as KOG'MAW starts getting items, he really starts barfing a lot. I think that's the word for it, right? Barfing. So yeah, he becomes quite a beast, and he becomes really fun to play. It's actually an extremely fun, even though he's very immobile and his kit is fairly simple. Like, looking at him with like getting the hurricane and stuff just makes him so fun to play, mostly because you literally just stand there, become an absolute artillery, and the enemies are just gonna completely and utterly, let's make sure we get this, underestimate your damage. Because that's the thing, there's not a lot of people playing this champion, so whenever you do go for it, a very nice play. It's gonna be able to swap this. I'm gonna go into the bush to lose aggro here from the minions, and hopefully, okay, we're gonna bait out the flash there. But like, you're not playing it for the early game. It's very nice when you play with a Seraphine that she can help you out. Like, personally, I like playing KOG'MAW with something like Seraphine, Narmi, even a bit of tanks. Like, I think Leona is also really good with him. Braum, like these kind of champions, but champs that can either really heavily peel off or can at least set up kills for KOG'MAW, because otherwise you're probably going to be sitting in lane kind of just waiting for your junglers to come down there, because you won't be able to set anything up yourself. And that's kind of the downside, or the flip side, of playing KOG'MAW. But then again, come on, like, look at this dude. Like, look at him. He's so cute with his little tennis ball and everything. Like, what's not to freaking love? Anyway, we're gonna start building. We're gonna start building Or let's see, we're actually gonna get this, a pair of boots, and we're gonna get that one, and then we'll still have enough exactly for a healing pot. So this is a really nice bag for us. We got double daggers, we got a boots, we got a long sword. This is actually gonna allow us on our next bag to get an absolutely insane bag, because on our next one we can finish our boots probably, and with a bit of luck we can also finish the non-quiver, and that is really gonna start snowballing us. So far we've been winning lane down here, which is honestly really nice, but not really, like, wasn't really what we went for, or like, of course you always try to win lane, but it's not expected on Kog'Maw at all that you're gonna win lane. It's more of a nice extra feature, I guess, that you might do it sometimes, and it's really nice whenever it happens, because it makes the transition into mid to late game a lot easier. Oh crap, I missed that one. So it's not that much. I don't really, like, I see that they're chasing around over here, but literally they should just be backing off my team, so I'm not gonna go up there. I want to make sure that we just get our farm. That is the most important thing. We're also ahead in CS, which is literally awesome. My team's coming down here to gank, so I should be following up as much as I can. With a bit of luck I can get an assist. Nope. All right, maybe I should have moved a little bit sooner there. There we go. All right, yeah, what you want to do in Kog'Maw if you're in the early game is you literally don't want to be going for kills unless they're 100% certain. Then you just kind of want to hang in there. You want to get as much farm as you can, play pretty safe. One thing is that he's pretty easy to farm with, both because if you're about to miss a minion, then you can actually use your Q to pick it up. Not saying that you should go for using your Q, but like if you're struggling or if you're about to miss a cannon minion or something, then you have that extra thing in your arsenal to kind of just pick up a CS, which is really, really nice. Whenever you play against things that you outrange, you can use your W to poke, but that requires you kind of to push them either up under their turret, or that you kind of have lane prior in terms of, wow, I cannot believe I missed that one, in terms of minions. So like the thing is, and this is something I see a lot from lower rated people, or lower rated players rather say, is that they try to poke, but every time they poke they lose out on some of their CS or some of their farm, so to speak. And if that is the case, then it's not worth it. It's rarely worth losing farm just for hitting a little bit of damage on your opponent. All right, so we got to be a little careful here. We don't have any vision, and I actually don't know where their Sin is. So I'm gonna be working up here. We're gonna make sure we put a ward down. Actually, yeah, a really good idea right now would be getting, I'm gonna use my I think I've never ever done this before, like click the potion to use it. It's because usually I put it on the second key here, but I hadn't moved it, so yeah, there's that. Seraphine's also doing a really good job right now, just poking and being annoying. But an Enchantress is a really nice support to play with, because it enables Kog'Maw like a lot more. He likes to be like the Enchantress best friend. All right, there we go. We see that Lee is on his way down here. Make sure I just get this. And we're gonna try and get as much damage in as we can. I'm probably gonna die here. I should have helped DPS at the end here. With a bit of luck, I can still hit this and make sure that Lee can turn this fight. I could have played this so much better. This was a terrible fight for me. I could have done quite a lot to actually win this match. I think I could probably, if I played my hand right here with my heal and everything, I think I could have saved Seraphine and we could probably have won that fight. But my input to this is also pretty much going to be that we did start the fight too early. Like, the only reason we started the fight was because Lee was on his way, but it did end up getting started too early. Seraphine somehow got caught in here. I don't really recall how that happened, but yeah, that's kind of like, it started a little too early. Anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. As I said, like, we're not picking this champion for the early game. Of course, this definitely set their severe back into the game. But then again, like, we're not behind at all. We have 66 CS. Like, we're very, very close to her in terms of everything. I was gonna push this so we can get some vision going. I have a control ward, which I would really, really like to get to place. And also I see now that Seraphine is kind of moving around here. Make sure we get this, and I'm gonna go up here, put down a control ward. Seraphine should get this. Nice. And I'm here to back up if she ults. All right. Okay, so we see Sin now is in mid lane. I'm gonna have a look at him. He has blue buff. So there's two options. Either he went on his own blue, or he took Lee Sin's. I'm not 100% sure. I think he took his own, meaning that he's actually going to be bot side now. So we got to be a little careful when playing this. But hopefully soon we'll start to snowball this a little more, so we can transist this into like mid to late game. But yeah, it's kind of like, this is what I mean. The mentality when playing KOG'MAW is very chill. Like, all you kind of want to do is sit here, farm up, play it safe. As safe as possible. Like, that's all you want to do. It's just playing safe. Get your farm. Like, make sure you're ahead and farm as much as you can. And just sit and hang out. Now that their Soraka is pretty low, we can start firing artillery down in her face. We can basically almost kill her. If she doesn't back now, she will die. So be mindful of the fact that KOG'MAW's ult, it deals a lot more damage if the target is low HP. Alright, so I'm going to use my E. Cannot heal. I'm not going to go for anything here. Simply too risky. I'm going to see if their Soraka goes in too close, because I can fire an artillery right in her face. And if she doesn't expect me to be here, then this could be a free kill. Gonna try and move around here. Don't think she knows I'm here. Okay, she might. Okay. I'm not gonna dare. Simply too risky. I'm pretty sure they're Drake, but there's not too much I can do about it by myself. We'll put down a ward over the edge here, just so I know I don't get backdoored. And we're gonna make sure we just get our farm. Like, there's not too much I could do about that Drake. Nobody else is moving down there. We have huge miss here. Gonna be looking in here. They're all in mid lane. Okay, so they're going for a heavy play on mid lane now. Okay, so there's not much I can do to go in and protect this at this point. It is just too late. I should have moved earlier if so. So instead, I'm gonna try and just take advantage of it and at least get some gold from the armor platings to kind of try and reminisce some of the loss. So that's what we're gonna go for. We're just kind of gonna slowly make sure that we get gold. I'm gonna try and push. I should be able to push probably an armor plating more. Oh, I missed one. So just as much as we can. Whoa, I cannot believe I missed this. I should never miss these cannon minions. All right, so Sin is now moving downwards. He doesn't have any buffs, and he did run this way. I saw him just turn the corner here. So I'm expecting him to be Raptor. So I'm gonna take this last armor plating, and then I'm gonna move away, because now I feel pretty unsafe. Okay, now I have vision on him again. Severe is probably moving down here. She's not. I see her again, so I can actually push this. And I'm gonna push this wave, and then I'm gonna be looking for it back. So right here, either that, I'm gonna have to move up and help. That's my two options right now. Okay, so this is stopping, so I'm actually just gonna back away. I don't see any point in doing anything else. So I'm gonna back. I'm gonna buy myself a pickaxe real quick. I mean, I can buy Cloak of Agility, and this is actually gonna be super nice for us. I'm also gonna buy Dagger, because I am gonna build both a Rage Blade and a Hurricane later. Alright, so... Alright, they're going deep into our jungle. I'm gonna rush down here. This is very nice, because I just came from my back. Now on my way, they're all half HP. This could potentially be a Quadra for us. I just don't want to be the front line. Alright, nobody is gonna go in. It was also a 3v4 situation, so I think it's the right call not going in, but they were pretty low on HP. I do believe maybe we could have done something, but rather play it safe than sorry, so I'm super okay with not going in there. Also, there's not that much to fight about. They already took the blue buff, so it's kind of just a whatever thing. All right, so we're gonna go ourselves get that one. Right here, she's actually overextending a bit, so we're gonna make sure that we just try and kill her as much as we can. We can still hit this guy. All right, I'm pretty low. There we go. Okay, actually I misplayed that super hard, but right here I have my ability ready. Also have flash, so that can give me some distance. Okay, we will get the kill here. I did not expect him to also flash, so I guess that's my fault. But yeah, I thought I could just kind of outplay that one by, as soon as he jumps to me, then flash, keep that distance, and then just kind of kite back, and he would have to run away. But he also was sitting on his flash, and he ended up closing the gap on me, and I'm like, yeah, it was kind of to be expected. So right here, I think we're just gonna go ahead, we're gonna rush a Rage Blade, and then we're gonna go into a Ruins Hurricane afterwards, which is gonna be really, really nice for us. I'm gonna make sure we get a control ward. Also, I want to get a Farsight ward now. Anyway, now we're kind of starting slowly to transit into the mid game. Generally speaking, I would say the mid game is reached whenever you start moving out of your lane, and we will basically in just a moment. I'm pretty sure we'll go down here and we'll finish off this turret very quickly. All we need to know at this point is where their jungler is, and not to like get caught by ourselves like this, like 1v2, because in a 2v2 situation at this point, there's a pretty good chance that we'll win. This is just such an awful fight because I'm just not able to catch up. She's coming in from the wrong angle, and literally it's just cutting me off, because if I have to run all the way around there, it would be really bad. All right, so let's get this. And right here you can see they're now moving into mid lane. We have MipZ. I'm gonna push as much as I possibly can to get this turret down. It will be the first turret, which will be really, really nice. So we'll just push this in super quickly. And as we do that, it should be a free kill here. 100% free. Thank you. All right, so at this point, I want to make sure that we get some vision in their jungle, because I want to know if their jungler's on his way down here, because we're moving in pretty far. I'm gonna try and call for let's get a control ward here. No, actually, I should just save that control ward for the Drake. Anyway, I'm gonna try and call for or jungle it, because I really want to be taking this Drake. And this is what you want to do as you move into the mid to late game. Then it's very important on KOG'MAW that you constantly play. Oh, did we not kill this? That you constantly play around objectives. You want to stick with your team. You never ever want to be running around alone, because you are super squishy. You're super easy to shut down by yourself. You're a terrible duelist in general. Like, of course, if you're super fat, you can win a 1v1 from time to time, but you're super hard countered by like assassins, etc. There's literally on your own nothing you can do. If one of them reaches you, you will most likely die, unless they are either like a very, very far behind or super terrible. The same goes for Annie. Don't want to, like, she can one-shot us, so we got to be very careful as we move in here to the mid to late game. Then, as I said, we want to never be sticking out or never running around alone. And I know the irony now sounds that right now I'm kind of running around alone. But what I mean when I'm saying running around alone is you don't want to be running around anywhere that is dangerous by yourself. I know for certain that nobody was down here. I knew there was nobody on my route down here because we had vision around us. So it was very safe for me to just kind of stumble down here. You can, of course, farm some things by yourself if you have vision and knowledge of where the enemy team is. So we see two people in there. We see set top, so we know there's a pure maximum of Severe in here, and there's Soraka. But now there's MipZ, so we don't want to be here anymore. It's simply too risky. So I'm sitting on 2k gold pretty much. We're missing the last 30 gold, and I really want to get that before my next back, because I can finish Rage Blade if we do so. So I'm actually going to stick here for a second. We can actually just back. We'll get it before it finishes. So we can buy a Rage Blade now, and we're probably going to have to rush down here, because I do believe that they are going to try and push this turret. So I'm going to rush directly down here. In an ideal world, this would be Diana moving down here and us moving into mid lane such that we could push this objective, and also so we could be closest to the two other objectives coming up on the map. The first one being Baron, and the second one, of course, being Drake whenever that spawns in 3 minutes. Anyway, we're moving down here because there's nobody else that's going to cover it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'm waiting for my teammate to come in. I'm going to put my E in front of this dude, so he has nowhere to go, and it's just going to be an absolute free shot down very nicely. So at this point, we are getting really fed. And like, this is not even the peak point of playing KOG'MAW. Like, as soon as we start getting, or as soon as we get our Hurricane, we're literally going to start becoming absolutely insane. Like, KOG'MAW is such a good champion if played in a team composition, but or in a team fighting composition. You never want to be playing this dude in a... Oh, crap. I actually set my ability the wrong way, but it should be fine. Gonna be using my heal here. This was a little bit too much. I'm not gonna use my I'm actually not gonna be using my flash, and the reason for that is basically that I didn't see a world where I survived here, so there's no point using my flash. Backing up around this play, the only reason I did it was actually kind of as a mentality thing for Lee Sin, that he didn't feel like I just left him and he was like, oh, we could win this. But in an ideal world, I would actually just have backed out of this fight, because I know that there was at least 3 people there. We were only 2. They probably were sitting on their ults, etc. So our chances of winning that fight were very slim. So honestly, I should just have backed out. I shouldn't have helped out. But sometimes sometimes it can be better just to kind of help out, just to kind of keep the mentality and like letting your teammate know that you're trying to help out. But yeah, it's personal opinion. Anyway, let's move back down into lane. We're gonna go mid lane now, such that we're very close to Drake, because Drake is coming up in 50 seconds. They're in a huge fight down here. I'm not a big fan of going down here and helping. I am gonna stay somewhere where I can kind of just artillery. My thought here was just getting close enough such that I could use my ult down on them if they got low enough without getting into a danger zone myself. But never got that far. They were completely shattered beforehand, and that's also kind of what I expected, that they would die and lose that fight pretty heavily. I'm gonna have to give up this turret. If I stick here, then they will dive, and I don't have a teammate. As we said earlier, like KOG'MAW in late game, or KOG'MAW in general, not just in late game, he does absolutely nothing in terms of you can kill this guy. Oh crap. Oh wow, yeah, I completely disrespected Annie right there. And this is kind of what I mean. You can never play the front line, and I actually did it there. And it can be such a hard thing to get out of your mindset. And I know in general at an ADC, you don't want to be the front line at all. But when there's somebody this low, you can very easily get tempted like I just did. I thought I could kill him with my ult, but Zed literally just uses his shield, and that saved him, sadly. And what this is going to convert into is me not being able to be a Drake, which means that it's actually my fault that we lost this Drake. I believe we could probably take this. But our biggest issue right now is actually that people are fairly fed. But we are playing KOG'MAW, so what we're looking into is we're actually just looking to postpone this game until we reach a point where we are absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to be going down here because that fight is over way before I can even get there. And if not, I'm just going to go down there and die. So instead, we're just going to go around and we'll take all the farm we can get. So Raptors should be coming up. I'm kind of just looking for some safe farm. So we're going to go take these real quick. And then we're going to go up get golems probably. If Lee is not already going there. We'll get top actually. And I'm going to make sure that I have vision on my way. And I know everybody currently were bot a second ago, so I don't expect anyone to be here. So we can safely go up here, get our farm. There we go. And I'm just kind of going to stock lane here for a second. Again, Lee's going in too deep. There's not much I can do about this fight. Okay, we have a TP coming in, so I'm gonna be ready in if things go down. But I have the feeling that my team's probably gonna go for a stupid chase now. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. There is not much to fight about here. They are playing an outnumbered situation. I'm gonna heal, try and help out as much as I can. And the thing is, I am literally gonna die for this, and I'm again not gonna flash because kind of pointless at this point. I should have pre-flashed over here in order to survive. But there's like right now the thing is, and this is kind of what you're gonna be experiencing when playing KOG'MAW from time to time, is if your team doesn't really play around team fighting. Well, oops. Play around team fighting, but instead just kind of team deathmatch and just run head first. And that's what we're seeing here. They literally just ran head first into the jungle, no knowledge of how many people were in there. And my team were only 3 people rushing in there, no knowledge of anybody. We've already, like, currently we're way behind in gold, and they're just taking these head-on fights that are literally never gonna profit anything for us. So this will be kind of a rough one for now, but still we are playing KOG'MAW, so as long as the game kind of drags out a bit, we're all good. But the advantage that we had early on is kind of gone, and we're not really going to be able to profit from that one. But what it will do is still it has allowed us to hopefully reach the point where we power spike a bit earlier. So I'm just going to make sure again that I get as much farm as possible. This guy's kind of disrespecting me because I am doing a lot of damage. Like, we just see he does not expect the damage of the KOG'MAW. The cuteness literally just hits them in their face. It slaps them with a dog poopy. I'm telling you, that's what it does. This tennis ball, it hits so hard. All right, so I'm gonna take this, and that was also a really nice shot down because we got 700 gold. So right here, we can actually finish off our Rabbidan's Hurricane. This is a huge item for us because this now means that we can start bursting down several targets at once. So here comes the freaking artillery. And this is where things become really freaking fun. I think as our next item, we will be going for a Ruined King. I really like this both for the extra movement speed, also for the extra damage that we get on max HP. They are not super tanky, the team we're playing against. I think maybe before that we'll buy an Executioner's Calling to try and kind of diminish a bit of what you say, Soraka's healing. But yeah, as you can see, KOG'MAW, like, imagine if you actually have a team where you can sit and hide behind them. Well, your damage is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Like, that's what it's all about. You can see right here how quickly we melt people. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. You can just see they're literally just fleeing so hard from us now. Should be able to get this, and that's a free triple. You can just see this is the point where KOG'MAW really starts taking off. All right, so we want to make sure that we go down. We get this Drake now because we have the option of securing it. They don't have a jungler up. There is, of course, a world where they can steal it, but I'm going to try and drag it out if possible right there to make it a little bit more difficult. So here we go. And this is just where it becomes really fun. And I think KOG'MAW is actually a pretty decent, like, even sometimes even for lower elos. And the reason for this is basically that the games are so long that you are going to reach that point where you just become so freaking strong. But of course, the issue is that if your team won't protect you at all, it does become kind of tricky. But let's get this. We have 2.6k gold. I think we'll actually just buy a motor reminder straight off the bat because I want to make sure that we diminish some of this Soraka's healing. So we'll get that one, and then we'll buy a Ruined King as our next item. We could also be going for something like a Guardian Angel. I don't think Bloodthirster for me right here does make sense because it's pretty much either I live or die already. So yeah, this is exactly, they're just going super hard in only for us at this point. Our entire team is not here. We should have tried backing out quicker, but like literally, I should have seen this one coming. I gotta admit, I should have seen that coming. I should have backed out. But they did just run like head first into us, and the rest of our team wasn't present. And I don't want to blame them, because I guess they didn't see that coming either. But I think this will be pretty hard. I will respawn, I think, before they end. So I think there's a world where we can still do this. But I feel like it's still kind of showing just like the potential of Kog'Maw and how you want to play him. Like in the late game, when you team fight, you want to be playing the absolute back line. You want to be sitting in the back, having a front line, and having preferably an enchantress support like Seraphine or something that can sit in front of you and kind of peel off you, set up kills for you. That's kind of the ideal world. But this is, of course, not an ideal game. Like looking at it, our team is not doing anything to protect us, or Seraphine a little bit. I would say she's been doing a pretty decent job overall, but the rest of our team is kind of just playing, I don't know, let's dive the deep end, basically. Like, look at this. Like, there's no vision here, and she runs in the river. We did have vision here, but there's no point going down here. There's no scuttle, there's no drake, there's literally nothing down here. And so yeah, I hope this kind of makes sense. But in a world where you play with a team that's actually trying to fight as a team composition, and Kog'Maw becomes an absolute legend. Like the cuteness is gonna slap them in their face so hard that they're literally gonna forget their own name. That's how hard he hits. And he's super fun to play, even though his kit appears pretty simple. He really does. Alrighty, so I don't really like that they're going into the enemy jungle right now. Also, I don't like that I have to go up here. They're half fighting. I really need to stick in the back here. I want to make sure that I do not get caught by any means. And I'm going to be able to completely smash that guy. Super. Baron is still up, which is really, really nice. 5 seconds till my W is ready again. I do think the enemy might be going in here. And again, this fight, not ideal. This is really not a good fight for us. We might be able to just turn it around here. I'm not going to be able to catch that guy, but we did get 4 of them. So we could potentially try and take Baron, but I'm pretty low HP. Drake's coming up in 50 seconds. I think Drake is the play here. Like, I'm a little too scared to go Baron because Annie is also one of the first coming up. So if she gets to us, we're kind of screwed. So I'm going to make sure we just get as much gold as we can while they're down. And we're going to start moving down around bot side because we do want to ensure this Drake. All right, so I want to get some vision going now. I'm going to put a ward right there. And what we need to be a little careful about now is also don't underestimate the power of Annie flashes. Because if she flash on us, then we're kind of in trouble. Gonna be very honest, then we're kind of in trouble. All right, so we have vision on Drake here. I'm hoping somebody brought a control ward. Okay, nobody brought a control ward. That's great. That's just great. All right, let's get this one. Hopefully, maybe Sin will jump down here and it'll just be a free kill. Oh, Annie's moving in on our side here. I'm just gonna do as much damage as I possibly can. I'm trying to do as much as I can, but the thing is, my team is backing out before, or like kind of moving away and letting me become the front line. And we're probably gonna lose this game before respawning now. But I feel like we did okay. Like, of course, this could have been played better. I'm not saying there's no world where you can carry this in Kog'Maw, but where it becomes pretty difficult is the fact that they basically need to peel for you or at least stay in front line. And yes, as Seraphine says here in the chat, I could also be buying something like some lifesteal. That is definitely also an option that could also help us out quite a bit. You could say maybe a Bloodthirster would make a part of the difference, but the thing is that What actually kills us is burst. It's not that much sustained damage. It is stuff like Annie's burst that we really should be scared of. All of the rest of the damage coming in should be denied by our team. Like they should be pushing people off, and we should be able to pee or to kite backwards. But seeing as our team literally just what do you say, like kind of like dissolves the second the fight erupts, then yes, then the only answer to that question would probably be, well, by lifesteal, hopefully you can out heal the damage. But out healing the damage is very rarely the answer on ADCs. It can be if you're super far ahead, then lifesteal can be a good way of kind of just snowballing your lead. And also, you know, other games of course can be really good, but it shouldn't be the answer to not taking damage. I hope that kind of makes sense. Like that's like Kog'Maw, you need somebody, you need your team to have the front line to push people back, or at least to allow you to kite back. So the reason why we didn't buy lifesteal here was because the primary concern is actually, or would be, Annie. Like that should be your primary concern. The fact that our team dissolved in fights meant that, of course, that was not our primary concern, or ended up not being it. But yeah, I feel like this basically kind of, even though we lost the game, and I really don't mind showing lost games, and I'm not saying that I'm a pro or anything, I'm by no means, there's so many people that are better at League of Legends than I am, but I still think this kind of gave a good impression of how to play Kog'Maw in the different phases of the game, where his strengths lie and where his weaknesses are. And his strengths are basically that he's a freaking artillery that can take down any target in a matter of seconds if he's allowed to. Where the problem or his weakness lies is also in this. It's the fact that he has no mobility and he needs a team to help him out. And that's really also, if you see people picking him in pro games, they usually build a full-born like team fighting composition in pro games around him, because he can literally smash anything. All right, but yeah, I hope you kind of found this a little helpful, or at least entertaining. If you did, then of course make sure to smash that like button, and if you are not already subscribed, go ahead, click that subscribe button, join down below, join into our awesome community. And also, if you want to see me live, then go to twitch.tv/MipZ_live. I stream every single Friday. So yeah, that's actually pretty much everything. I hope you have an awesome day, and as always, stay awesome, have fun, and take it easy, guys.